Hello everyone, my name is Crimson, and welcome back to another beta craft video. Or at least, that's the video portion. I'm actually here for a little bit of a different reason. I've been watching a lot of YouTube, seeing a lot of things, and I'm starting to get a little bit fed up with the world. It's just a little bit crazy. And so I thought, if the rest of the world's gonna be a little bit crazy, why not join them? If you can't beat them, then split up into multiple personalities and join them. That's what I always say. So, specifically, what I was seeing is, I've been seeing this thing where there is the woke side of culture and entertainment, which I think anyone with 2 brain cells can say without a shadow of a doubt is bad. The woke stuff has been bad for a very long time. There was probably like a small window of opportunity where the woke stuff was okay. That was when I had been first introduced to it thanks to people like Brandon Sanderson, and incidentally also brainwashed by Brandon Sanderson for a while. I have since broken through that brainwashing, thank God. Because, oh no, that was a nightmare. And it really just confused me because I remember actually agreeing with this idea of you needed to have a diverse cast of characters, that you needed to have X number of blacks, X number of women, men, yada yada yada. But my take on it, probably because I'm autistic and I actually like, truth, facts, hard rules to follow, not just whimsies of whatever people say, or, as the woke do, say one thing but really mean another, which is a lie. I actually did include, male characters into my female-driven stories where there shouldn't be men. And I had really deeply considered how I could work with the race issue, because I don't write about human Earth society. So I don't actually have human races the way we know them. And that was a real challenge for me, and I eventually just decided, I'm just going to do the Undertale way of not mentioning it, or if I do mention it, everyone has a weird-ass color of skin, like that person's pink, that person's green, that person is yellow, that person is, I don't know what color that is, but it's shining and glimmering and I love it. But, yeah, so I had my own take on it. Of course, once I started to recognize what was really going on and saw through the brainwashing, that's when I really, really hated it. For a while there, I didn't change how I write, thankfully. I changed how I created some of my cast of characters a little bit, but it really wasn't any different than anything I probably would have done anyway, given the stuff I was studying. I like Sentai, Super Sentai squads a lot. The teams of the classic heroes with the same outfits, and all of them have a weapon and a giant robot that they'd pilot and maybe a special power. There was nothing wrong with, say, Captain Planet. Captain Planet has a pretty decent team. My favorite character is probably going to be the Indian guy, because he's the wielder of the Bearer of Heart, which was always my favorite element because I'm a fucking nerd. And so I'm like, beat the bad guys with the power of love. I can do that. And that's cool. However, what I've noticed about the woke culture is that on the surface, they say we're about love and tolerance. Underneath that, and it's not even deep, it's very shallow, you just barely brush the dirt away and it's right there. They're actually about intolerance, about being racist, about being gender phobic, and about being toxic. And once you see that, it's impossible to stop seeing it. And that's why I consider myself anti-woke. But the problem is, I've also noticed a lot of what I would call the anti-woke YouTubers, and it's not all of them, definitely not all of them. I know there's a good margin of them that are normal, actual creators. They're actual creators with some traditional old school values, and I think that's neat. You can totally have whatever views, values, beliefs you want. I'm a fucking pervert, and I believe whatever I want, and I don't expect anyone to... I don't expect to push that on anyone. I wouldn't want to. If you're not a pervert, don't be one. If you are one, welcome to the crowd. But here's the thing. A lot of the anti-woke people I've seen, I think that they're actually, like, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a secret agenda. Like, they've always been secretly far right, which because there's so many far left people, and they're all calling everyone even slightly left, like slightly right of being super left, the far right, like, improperly. I kind of forget that the far right actually used to be a thing that you had to worry about, that there were actually people that were really homophobic out there. I forget about that. And so when I see one of these anti-woke YouTubers that, 90% of what they say is just normal sense, they're quote-unquote based in reality, it's really cool because I'm like, oh, yeah, no, you shouldn't make a story that's about, gender and politics first unless it's actually about that. If it's just a normal story like, say, Warhammer, then it should just be about the story of Warhammer, which is, messed up stuff. There's no good guys. The best hope for humanity is the most right-winged, insane nonsense that you'd ever imagine, and it's a dystopian future of, like, epic proportions. Like, it's pretty cool, okay? Because it's fiction. It's not real life. If that was real life, that'd be awful. But fiction can be able to tell stories about things that are awful without us having to experience them. We can still enjoy those fictional concepts without having to be in them. And I think that's really nice about fiction. But the woke people don't really get that. They're always shoving their agenda down everyone's throat because that's the only thing that they seem to really have, and I get it. I used to be there. For a little while, that was me. And I broke free of that once I realized that I was being brainwashed, and honestly, I probably got to thank my dad for that one, because he's the one that kind of showed me what the idea of what brainwashing was, by showing me the sides of culture that people didn't normally see. And the area I live in is filled with a lot of that kind of stuff. It's kind of dangerous. So, I see someone who's anti-woke, and my first thought is, cool. They're going to be a normal person. They'll probably have views and beliefs that are similar to what it was in the 90s, where it's like, you got your sitcoms, you got the gay character that's like the cousin of the main character, and they're super funny, and we love them, and we want to be friends with them. They got the normal cast, which are just normal people, typically just white male dudes that are trying to get laid or whatever. Typical sitcom from the 90s kind of vibe. No hatred, just absolute wackadoodle people being friends and friendly. Think How I Met Your Mother with Barney, who is the most sexually advantageous character of all, and yet he has a gay brother, which is played by, oh god, he's the guy who's the show host of, that show with the Doors. I watch it every day. I forget the name of it, but it's pretty good. Wayne Brady. Love that guy. He's a great actor. And a great show host. But it used to be where we could have gay characters, we could have trans characters, and it wasn't shoved down people's throat. It wasn't where people said, these characters are better than you. If you don't like them, go to hell. It was just like, this is just a person. There are people like you and me. Just enjoy the people. And here I'm sitting as a bisexual cast of multiple personalities that have split off from an eldritch being. And I'm just like, I can dig that. I could be any of these characters, even that one. And unfortunately, a lot of the anti-woke people that I've been seeing, some of them are actually legitimately homophobic. I just saw a video from John Della Rose, which I'd been following because I really liked his sane approach to storytelling and how he had an actual approach to things. And he was always a little bit iffy on the right side, but I forgive him for it because it's been forced down his throats. You know, everyone's going to be a little bit mad about that, and that's the sad thing. The woke people fucked it up for the good people like us. But then he literally said that all gay parents are committing child abuse by being gay. And I just was like, what the actual fuck did you say? Dude! Why? What kind of human has that level of hate in their heart? I know the woke people do stuff like that. They say stuff like, straight parents are toxic and abusive because they're straight and they don't want their kids to be X, Y, and Z and force it down their throat when they're just children and they're not ready to make those decisions or even understand them yet. But, dude, I raised my kids and they all came out fine. Hell, one of them's super conservative and I'm okay with that. Like, there's no problem with that. And then I know a lot of gay parents that literally the only thing they teach is, I want you to be honest with who you are and grow up to be who you want to be. And if that's going to be a straight person, we still love you. We don't care. If that's a gay person, we love you. Don't care. Non-binary, we love you. We don't care. Like, they're some of the most loving and tolerant, like, parents I've ever seen. And, to have anyone say that because of some gender, because of some sexual identity, because of some queer interest, you are a bad person wholeheartedly, that you are bad for children? No, that's the most intolerant, hateful speech you can make. And I'm not going to say that John Della Rose's books are bad. I've gotten a bit into The Stars Entwined. It was pretty good. I will admit, he's a good writer. I am going to give him the J.K. Rowling treatment. Not going to watch his personal life anymore because, holy shit, I don't want to hear J.K. Rowling espouse her hatred towards white people. I don't want to hear him espouse his hatred towards gay people. No thank you. I can do literally anything else. But I realize that although we do definitely need pushback on the woke, we need more anti-woke people. We need them to be normal. We need them to be sane, to be loving and tolerant. We don't need to fight the woke with their same weapons and ideologies and their same hatred. We need to fight them with love and show them you can be tolerant of everyone. Unfortunately, that's not the world we live in right now, but maybe one day we'll get there. Maybe one day. I just really had to make a video, and maybe I'll make some more because, in all honesty, I got a lot of things to say, and I realize there's a lot of people that are secretly full of hatred trying to say them, and I don't want that. I want someone who's actually got love and passion. Sure, I'm a pervert, but, you know, pervert just means I got extra love, right? But, seriously, we need someone out there saying good things, like, unabashedly good things. We need someone living up to the ideals of Superman, which is my favorite superhero. Not the modern take, I mean the old one, with Dean Cain from the 90s. That kind of Superman. But, well, we'll see where this goes. My name's Crimson, and I just want to say thank you for listening to this, and wherever you are, I hope you have a wonderful day, and adios.